have a bone disease in my upper jaw. It's causing my teeth to crack and fall out. If you're gonna run your mouth, put the money forward, help me fix them. So one of the hardest things to do as an adult is ask for help. It was pointed out by some of my followers that it might be a good idea to ask for help. So this is me swallowing my pride and asking for help. It was suggested that I start a GoFundMe to help get my teeth fixed. My teeth, the bones are weak and they just break. I can brush 5-6 times a day, it doesn't matter. Guys, I'm at a loss for words. I just checked the GoFundMe and someone donated $2,700 and it completely met the goal. I've got enough to fix my teeth. So I just left the dentist's office. My appointment for my consultation is set up. So just left the dentist. I go in for the 6th. Basically, they're gonna yank everything. We're gonna do it right. I will be roughly 3 weeks with no teeth. I'll be down for 3 to 4 days after they pull the teeth. And then I'll go back in on November 20th to get the impressions done for the permanent, and we'll leave with temporary as of the 20th. Alright guys, just left the dental place and I wrote them the check. Again, thank you guys so much. This would not have been possible without you guys, nor would I have made the jump to get this taken care of without you guys pushing me.
So today's the day, guys. The journey's beginning.
Swollen, sore, laying in bed. The journey's just started. Uphill battle from here. Back at work, back with the boy, back with the kids. Pain's not too bad. It's hit and miss. So I wanted to get on here and thank you guys for all the kind words, comments, liking. The duets had me in tears almost all night. You guys are absolutely amazing.
What makes me happy fills me up with glee. Those bones in my jaw that don't have a flaw, my shiny teeth and me. My shiny teeth that twinkle just like the stars in space.
1776! 17! They're protecting you! You fucking They're protecting your little ass! You're lucky they're here! And we're all about citizens! USA! USA!
Trump can impose martial law for the sole purpose of conducting a brand new election that will be overseen by the military.
Ready, girls? It is not Joe Biden that rules this country. George Soros does not rule this country. Klaus Schwab does not rule this country. Jesus Christ is the king of everything in this world. Christ is king. 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 And anybody who has a problem with that can go and move somewhere else. Brainwashed pieces of shit. I need you guys to back up. I need you guys to give me I need you guys to give me space. Howard! Howard! Hey! Howard!
Checks are more important than your dignity, right? All you black men in uniform. Checks are more important than your black children that might get shot by the police.
One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Everywhere he wants to get tattooed is all like just pain.
I knew he was self-conscious, and that made me want just to show me he wasn't the only one. Like, we could both have the same mark.
Me and my sisters played for a little while in the pool, and then my dad said, Derek, come over here and I want to show you something. And then he took off his shirt, and then there was a huge tattoo of my birthmark there. I was happy, and I was a little confused because I didn't know that he was going to do that.
It felt good to do it. It's a long process to do it. I thought it was going to be like a few hours. It was like 30.
Everywhere he wants to get tattooed is all like just pain. Like, none of it's easy.
After maybe 3-4 hours, I was like, yeah, we're almost done. And Tony's like, yeah, we're almost done the outline. I wanted to see his reaction. I think he was happy that, you know, that I did it. And now we have the same marks for life.
Mr. Chairman, I got to respond to that. I mean, you're saying I'm putting out
Right.
information.
I can't sit by here and listen to this and say that this is not disinformation, this hearing today. This is getting information we have to take a look at to restore confidence in our election integrity. We're not going to be able to just move on without bringing up these irregularities, examining them, and providing an explanation and see where there really are problems so we can correct it moving forward. Senator Paul.
Mr. Chairman, I got to respond to that. I mean, you're saying I'm putting out
Right.
information. Well, one, I had nothing to do with this report.
You lied repeatedly.
I did not
You
authorize
lied repeatedly in the press when I was spreading Russian disinformation, and that was an outright lie. And I told you to stop lying, and you continue to do it.
Mr. Chairman, this is not about airing your grievances. I don't know what rabbit hole you're running down.
You
right
talked
now.
about
love
Russian
going down rabbit
disinformation.
holes.
Senator Paul.
This is simply not what we're dealing
Senator Paul.
with. But, Mr. Chairman, you can't make these
Judge
false
Starr.
allegations and then dropping it there. That is why this
Senator
committee
Paul.
needs to return back
Judge
to
Starr,
a
Senator Paul.
partisan things. This is terrible what you're doing to this committee and all the great work that you talked about.
It is what you have done to this committee.
But I'm concerned that today's hearing will do more harm than good by confusing a few anecdotes about human error with the insidious claims the president has aired. The president and many of his supporters are, unfortunately, continuing their efforts to undermine the will of the people, disenfranchise voters, and sow the seeds of mistrust and discontent to further their partisan desire for power. Whether intended or not, this hearing gives a platform to conspiracy theories and lies, and it's a destructive exercise that has no place in the United States Senate. Deciding to move forward with this hearing is still dangerous. Elected leaders who are chosen by the voters to help uphold our institutions and democratic values spent weeks either turning a blind eye or parroting provocative rhetoric and false claims about this election.
Senator, have you congratulated Vice President Biden yet? Why not?
Have you thought at all about by not speaking out earlier, even though they knew it was wrong, that there was no evidence to support these claims, and that this inflammatory rhetoric is harmful to our democracy, many elected officials gave the president and his supporters license to spread damaging lies about the election.
There was fraud in this election. I don't have any doubt about that. There was fraud. We just don't know the extent, and we don't know what the remedy would be when identified.
More than 50 post-election lawsuits filed by the Trump campaign have been dismissed or withdrawn, including by the United States Supreme Court, because there is simply no evidence to support these claims in a court of law. And despite the title of today's hearing, there were no widespread election irregularities that affected the final outcome. These claims are false, and giving them more oxygen is a grave threat to the future of our democracy.
While elections are sometimes messy, this was a secure election. Of that, I have no doubt.
Now is the time for American patriots who love this country to say enough is enough.
I just couldn't believe it.
It's a girl!
It's a girl.
39-year-old Michael Keane was not a number.
Woo!
He was a husband, father, hero.
The military was a big part of his life.
Huge.
He survived 4 tours of duty in Iraq and Afghanistan. Coronavirus killed him in just over 3 weeks.
I mean, I feel this just huge part of me gone. Just a huge hole.
It began as a scratchy throat. Since Nicole was pregnant, they got tested for COVID. She was negative. Michael was positive. Within 4 days, he was in an ICU on a ventilator.
I was terrified and just knew that you get on the ventilator and it's really hard to get off with COVID.
Days passed. The inability to be with her husband was torture on Nicole, and one night when she hadn't felt the baby kick as usual, she went to the hospital.
I just remember the doctor coming in and looking at me and saying, "We're going to have to take your baby right now."
Michael Wesson Keane was born unresponsive. It took a medical team 15 minutes to bring him to life. They rushed him to the neonatal intensive care unit at the University of Kentucky Hospital, the same hospital as his father. Doctors advised Nicole not to tell Michael about his son, fearing what the stress might do.
But you followed their advice.
I did.
2 days later, as Nicole lay in bed, now in the same hospital as her husband and baby, she got a call from the doctor saying her husband was in cardiac arrest and they were trying to revive him.
I fell to my knees and I was just crying. I just couldn't believe it.
She demanded to be allowed into his room. Wearing full protective gear, she held her husband's hand.
And I could just feel him slipping away. And I just felt, I don't even know how to describe it. I just felt everything, all of our dreams, everything just like came out of me. I could just like shattered.
Michael Keane died, unaware that in that very same hospital he had a son.
Did you ever get to tell him?
No.
So he never knew.
No.
Baby Michael is now at home, but may need specialized care. His big sister's happy to help when she's not roaming the house looking for Dad. And Nicole struggles with expenses. Michael was the sole breadwinner. From his journal, she reads the wedding vows he wrote for her.
From this day to my last, all of my imperfect self is yours. We will walk in the light and in the dark, but we will walk together. You are my heart, my soul, my miracle.
On the day Michael died, October 28th, coronavirus also killed 1,008 other Americans. But Michael Keane was not a number. To those who loved him, he was everything. Martin Savage, CNN, Lexington, Kentucky.